friends, my name is Tori Church, and I'm so excited to be starting this health and wellness page. I just wanted to make a video to pop on here and just introduce myself, and then also just explain a little bit of why I'm so passionate about health and fitness. So that actually comes from my own health journey. I'm just gonna share that briefly. I think later on I'll probably make a video going into a little bit more depth on my symptoms and different things I did to treat myself and all of that. But for right now, we're just gonna do a brief overview of my health journey. So to start, I started having health problems when I was about 14. I was just getting headaches all the time, very tired all the time. I dealt with a lot of digestion issues and then also with a lot of edema and swelling. So I always had a very puffy face. And I was quite active at the time. So I was a dancer and then also just did a lot of other outdoorsy things. And my health just started really getting in the way of that. And so I did a lot of research on my own, trying to figure out what was going on. I Googled my symptoms. I looked at different people's YouTube stories of health problems they have had that were similar to mine to try to diagnose myself. But ultimately never really ended up seeing anything that closely related to what my symptoms were and how I was feeling. And so just kind of dealt with this for a while, not really knowing what to do about it, but it slowly got worse. And then when I was about 18, I ended up deciding to get some blood tests done, so basic blood work. And that all came back normal. Actually, it came back looking very good. My doctor said that I looked very healthy. And so, you can imagine kind of my surprise at that. I almost at this point, I wanted something to come back as being wrong because then I could know what was going on and hopefully fix that and feel healthy again. But having everything come back as normal was just very confusing to me, and I started to think maybe it was in my head. Just continued living life and dealing with my symptoms as best as I could. And then when I got to college, everything it started getting worse and worse, and with the stress of school, and then my last year I was on the track team, so with the stress of being an athlete as well, my body just started to shut down, and it really was not doing good. So I was just wanting to sleep all the time. I was having mood swings. I was feeling very anxious. It was hard for me to socialize with people. The headaches were pretty much nonstop, sometimes worse than others, but it just got pretty bad and took over my life. And throughout college, it was really hard to make plans with friends because I didn't know if I was going to be feeling well enough to go out and do that thing in a few days. And so, it was very difficult for me. And I'm a Christian, and so I prayed throughout this whole time that the Lord would show me what was going on, that He would help me diagnose myself so that I could start living a life where I was feeling well enough to go out and do things and really just do things for Him. And so, He answered that prayer when I graduated college. Me and my family went to visit some family friends. The guy is a nutritionist. And so I, at this point, had become very interested in health and nutrition because I had done so much research into it. And there were little things like diet changes and different things that actually did help my symptoms a little bit. And so I had poured a lot of time and research and energy into a lot of like dietary stuff and research. And so it really interested me. And so I started talking to this nutritionist a lot about what he did, how he got started, and all of that. And then eventually kind of voiced, what I had been dealing with. And he immediately was saying, based on my symptoms, it sounded like I had a B6 deficiency, which I was kind of shocked to hear because out of all the research I had done, this had never popped up. And so, I asked him more about it, and he asked if I could share my blood work with him, which I did. And he said that based on my blood work and my symptoms, he was almost positive that I was dealing with a longstanding B6 deficiency. And yeah, I was completely shocked. He was looking at the same blood work that my doctor had done, and I forgot to mention, so a few years after I had gotten the first blood test, I ended up going to a women's hormones doctor, and she took more tests, and those tests also came back as normal. And so I was shocked that he could look at these blood results and see that they were all within the normal range, but since some of them, like one of them was my platelet levels, were in the normal range, but they were a little bit on the low side, and this paired with my symptoms and some of the other blood tests that were on the lower side of the normal spectrum made my nutritionist come to the conclusion that I had a B6 deficiency. And so, yeah, I went back home, I did some of my own tests, and these all ended up proving that he was right. And I was in shock at this point. Like, I had kind of given up, honestly, on ever figuring out what was going on with me, and had just given it to the Lord and said, you know what, like, I'm just going to figure out how to live with this and go on like this unless you decide to show me otherwise. And so yeah, I couldn't believe it at first, and I started supplementing with B6. And just to give a quick overview, we all get B6 in our food, so it's pretty abundant, but it comes in the inactive form, which is pyridoxine, and then our bodies have to convert it over to the active form, which is called pyridoxal 5-phosphate, and this is what our bodies can use, and it's crucial for so many bodily functions. Yeah, you can just do a quick Google search on what B6 does in your body, and you will see the whole list of things. And like I said, I'll do a video later going more into depth on what exactly that does for our body and all of that stuff. But yeah, so I ended up ordering a sublingual, so goes under the tongue, and then it just dissolves into the bloodstream from there. Sublingual active form of the B6, and I started taking that, and yeah, like I started feeling so much better. I was still having my symptoms that I had before, but they were so much less. And then on top of that, my nutritionist said it was going to take about, give or take, a year and a half for my body to completely get back to where it should be because it had been deficient for so long. So he said probably still be struggling with symptoms for a while, and I've been on it for about 8 months now. Been feeling so much better. I have so many more good days than bad days, unlike before. I still do struggle with a lot of hormone issues, and hormone stuff is related to B6, but I think they're also separate in a sense too. And so I'm on the path right now to figure out exactly what is going on with my hormones and all that. But just continuing to take the B6 and yeah, just feeling so much better on that. And so yeah, this video is already almost 9 minutes, so I'm gonna cut it short there, but just want to say to anyone out there that has been struggling with health problems for a long time and they just feel like they're never going to figure out what's going on. Maybe you've had blood work done and your doctor says you're normal, and you're starting to think that, it's in your head and that you're completely healthy and fine. I just want to encourage you that, yeah, you can just keep pushing and try to figure out exactly what is going on, because maybe you're like me. Maybe you have something that is just very, very hard to figure out, and it's just going to take more time and research and the meeting of the right people and all that. But yeah, I would say just don't give up, keep pushing. And yeah, I hope that this video is helpful to anyone out there, and I'm super excited to be posting more about food and recipes and health and all that good stuff. And so I hope you'll stick around. But yeah, I hope you have an amazing day, and we will see you